And hello, this is Wakasm Plays Veilwraith. So this is my first time playing this game, trying to figure out how to set up the board. Setup is pretty quick, but for some reason I always have a hard time getting things looking nice for the camera. But, alright. And hello, I'm Wakasm. Sorry for the quietness for a second. I was trying to figure out something with my computer. But yeah, this is a Veilwraith. This is a solo game. I guess it can be played cooperatively if like multiple people have their own copy. That's something I'll never do. And again, excuse my mess back here. I just moved all of my kids' stuff into that corner, which had me move some board games out. I have some games that are coming off the shelf over there. So yeah, I have to clean up behind me. Hopefully at some point I will make the situation behind me look a little bit nicer, but I kind of want actually to get the camera on this side because I feel like it's easier for me to look over there. So that's something that I got to figure out, but I got to run wires to be able to do that. All kinds of crazy stuff. But anyway, this is Veilwraith. Forget the designer's name. I know it's the same designer who does like the Kilforth series, the Gloom of Kilforth series. Tristain Hall, that's the name. So it's a game designed by Tristain Hall, and I believe the graphic designer, he's also the graphic designer. I think sometimes his wife does graphic design too, if I remember correctly. Anyway, this is a game that I kickstarted a long time ago. I hadn't gotten to the table, so now I'm getting it to the table for the first time. I meant to play it a long time ago, and I just never got it to the table. Game seems pretty straightforward in terms of rules. I guess I'll just kind of cover what the game's about and what we're doing. And hopefully I don't make any rules mistakes, but as always, I potentially might make rules mistakes, so I apologize for that ahead of time. So I guess let's just get started and I will figure that out as I go. So there is some terminology there is actually there's a whole story. I'm not going to read it just because it's kind of long. So this game is a campaign game of sorts. You can kind of just play it as individual sessions, but there is actually a campaign system where if you, every, session, you're playing in a vignette. There's 5 in the core game, and then in the expansion, there's a bunch more. A whole another box here, which has a bunch more vignettes that you can play through. I think it goes up to 20 if my memory serves. So it's kind of like a campaign game that you play over 20 sessions, or not sessions, you have to win 20 times. Because what happens is if you lose, you replay the same session, which is not something that I really love. I don't like it when games, when you lose, they force you to play the same thing. I do like campaigns that fail forward a little bit better, but we'll see. It seems like it's going to be a shorter game, so it might not be that big of a deal. And then there's just a lot of terminology that is, I don't know, kind of weird, I guess. You got to get used to it. It's the theme. So you are a Veilwraith. Basically, you are a remnant of something that once was, an unearthly being sent back to the Veil by an impossible twist of fate. I guess you're in the Vana, which is like the seared lands that have been left behind after the end of all things. Fragmented memories of trapped souls continue to try to break through the shattered Veil, or Veil. There's things called like Deja and Anima. These are like different types of spirits. Some are malicious, some are not. There's keys, there's memories. You have a memory deck, and these are all the actions that you can play. Not really sure how thematic like all that ties into the game since I haven't actually played it yet. But yeah. So to my knowledge, the game objective is you're basically trying to get through this portal, which is this card right here. And this card does not appear until you get all 5 keys. So during the setup, I took out 5 keys from the box. I made 5 different piles. This vignette card, which is, you can see right here, vignette 1. I guess I can try to zoom in up on that so you can kind of read it. This kind of tells you how to set everything up. You got to pull a certain number of fighters, the goblins, healers, all different types of threats into the different decks. And you kind of distribute them evenly over each key. So, there's a key in the first 5 or 6 cards, there's a key in the next 5 or 6 cards, there's a key in the next 5, however many cards, and then you basically just make a full deck of threats. In addition, there's a different type of enemy called foes. And this one, if you kind of can see right here, says I'm going to be facing the Goblin King, and he shows up somewhere in stack 4. So on that 4th stack with the keys, I shuffled him in, and yeah, so that's, you have to basically collect all the keys and kill all the foes, and then once you do that, this portal appears, and then you have to escape through the portal before you lose the game. That's what you're trying to do. So let me zoom back out here. So yeah, so you're trying to get through this portal. You are trying to do it before you lose your health. So we have a health dial right here. We start with 20 health. I don't think it's called health though, it's called spirit in this game. So anytime I mention spirit, that's what we're referencing. And basically, there's a few ways you can lose. You can lose if you lose all your spirit. The other way that you can lose is if once you go through the threat deck, you kind of reshuffle it, and then you shuffle what they call the Archfiend in. There's some thematic story. Somebody sends him after you to kill you or to get you, and he gets shuffled into the threat deck, and if you ever draw him before you escape the portal, you immediately lose the game. So neither the portal or the Archfiend start in the game, so we're gonna put him up here, but that's the basic gist of how that's gonna work. So what do we do in the game turn for turn? So basically, we're going to start every round by drawing a threat card. Some abilities might activate, some things might happen, and then we are going to draw a memory into our hand. And actually, do we start with a hand? I think we do. Actually, we don't start with anything in our hand, so the first time we draw would be the first memory that we get into our hand. And then we can play in any order. We can play any number of memories from our hand. We can combine memories to add to power actions. I'll explain how that works. We can tilt stuff. So these are our 3 main actions right here. They all have a use condition that you do something. You can use it as influence or fight or as explore. I guess I'll zoom in so you can maybe read these cards a little bit easier. Let's see here. Where's the easiest angle? All right, maybe that's easy enough. Okay, so yeah, so this is explore, this is fight, and this is influence, and you're basically trying to go after the threats based off of what the threats want you to do. So some threats want you to explore, some threats want you to fight them, some threats want you to influence them, and they have a number, and you're trying to use the action to meet that number so you can kill the threat or remove the threat. Basically, the power of the action that you use is relative to the number that they're underneath. So if I was to use this influence, I'd basically be using a influence 3 action. So if there was a card that needed influence 3 to remove, I could tap this, I would use it, and then what happens is anytime you actually use a card, it kind of goes to the bottom of this like 1, 2, 3 power system. So now my fight is a power 3, and my explore is a power 2, and my influence is now a 1. And every time you kind of do that, they're going to shift around. They only shift around though if the cards are face up. If I was to like somehow use a second fight, then I believe only these would shift. Not 100% sure actually. I probably should look that up. Yes, I believe if I was to, let's say I was to do this, fight 3, and then I got another way to use another action, then this would just slide up. Not 100% sure. Kind of similar to the Kilforth series. The rulebook is not the best. It's kind of dry. They don't give a lot of like gameplay examples, which is something I wish there were more of. But I believe that's how it works based on the way it reads. I mean, the rules seem pretty clear. So if I'm playing wrong, someone can let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Anyway, so that's using one of these actions. I can also use it to draw memories, or you can tilt something like this, and the tilt action for this is add 1 power token. So there's these power tokens that you can kind of add onto these cards, and they will make them stronger over time. They're kind of optional to use. I can store them. I can even take the action and not use the power token if I don't want to. So there's a little bit of like pressing your luck and kind of storing stuff up for later that will come into play. But yeah, that's how those work. You can only tilt or use a card, so I can't like tilt and then use a card. So the order of how I do that might matter. Sometimes it might make sense to tilt first. Sometimes it might make sense to use a card first. I don't know. I don't really know the strategy that well yet. So I guess I'll put this here for now and hope that it's useful. So anyway, you can play memories. You can combine memories. That's something that I'll show once we're playing. And I guess we'll just kind of get started. You lose your spirit based on how many threats are in play. Every spirit kind of says how much, every threat shows how much spirit you lose if you don't remove it. So basically, every turn that I don't remove something, unless there's like a special rule involved that I don't know about, for the most part, I will be, sorry, something I wanted to do here. I want to do that. Yeah, there we go. I think that's probably a little bit easier to see. And then you can still see this. Perfect. So let's hope this is a little bit cleaner. Okay, just moving things over. Okay, and then you're going to discard anything that you played. You can only have 6 cards in your hand, so you have to either play or discard memories down. All your actions reset, and then you just kind of keep going through the cycle until you either win or lose. These guys up here are ribbons. Basically, they're kind of like continues. You could only have 5, and I think I got it right. You start with 5 on like the basic mode. I'm pretty sure you start with 5 in the basic mode. Yeah, so you start with 5 ribbons in like the base campaign. There's different like campaign levels. You can start with less, and I think like the ultimate hard mode is you can't lose any games, which I don't know. We'll see if we ever get that far. We probably won't, but who knows? We'll see. All right, so we'll kind of get started and play, and I'll explain other things as they come up. And I'll try to narrate what I'm doing and what I'm thinking. And I guess we'll just get started. I don't know why I'm having a hard time like making this look pretty, but I'm sure it's gonna look not pretty the more I play. So I'm gonna put my hand down here. So I might zoom up on that a few times if it's helpful. All right, so start round. We're going to draw and play 1 threat. So we got the Mystic threat. She's Deja. Mystical. Played. Reveal threats until you reveal a key. Put it into play. Shuffle and replace the rest back onto the threat deck. Okay, so we're going to keep revealing cards until we reveal a key. There's a key. Okay, so kind of basically know what's happening because I only drew 1 card. So there's going to be a goblin next. So a key comes out. And if you remember, we're trying to get all 5 keys. And keys are kind of good for us. If we are able to get a key, they have powers that we can use, and this key's power is I could turn it to get an additional action, which is probably pretty good, or I could flip it to gain a health. So it's probably not something I'm going to want to flip unless I absolutely have to, because having an extra action I think is going to be pretty important. So this Mystic, in order to defeat it, wants me to influence 4. So I guess we'll zoom in there so we can kind of see this a little bit better. So you can see it's an influence 4 right here. And if it stays out at the end of the round, then I'm going to lose 2 spirit. This key wants me to explore 7. So that's kind of like a really big explore value in order to get this. But obviously the extra additional action power seems like it's pretty strong. So I don't know what the cost of all the keys are, but it seems like that's gonna be worth saving up for. Yeah, so that's what's out right now. And so I guess we then will draw a memory into our hand, and this first memory is the Memory of Honor. It's so the way the campaign works is you can start upgrading your memories after each vignette. So right now all the memories are basic memories, but eventually throughout the campaign you'll have, you know, it's like deck building. It's not very, you don't get a lot of options to deck build, but you have some choices. But yeah, there will be non-basic memories. There's also ways to upgrade these powers. I didn't really talk about it as well, but the back of these powers have like upgraded versions. So this turns into an explore and a hunt, and there's additional things you can do with that. There's also ways to upgrade these. You could also just start the game with one of these powered up for like an easier variant. But I don't know how you do any of this. I don't know how you upgrade these. I don't know how you upgrade these. I'm assuming they're either related to specific keys or campaign stuff. So we'll learn that together as we go. But yeah, I did forget to mention that as well. So anyway, I'm going to push these up a little bit, and basically the cards that are down here is going to be my hand. And let's see. Okay. Another concept I didn't really talk about is, let me zoom up on this card real quick. So I can play this during my turn, something that I can do. So there's a few ways that I can play this. First way I can play it is I can play it for its value right here. So if I was to take an influence action, I could just basically kind of put it on top of that or next to it, and this would add 1 to this influence action. So I would have an influence 4 since it's below the 3 token. But that's one way that I could use this. I'm sure some of the other cards have like special like things you can do with it. But another thing that you can do with it is you can combine stuff. Basically, these are kind of like more universal boosts that you can just use for anything. Like this one I can only use with influence. This I could use for anything, but basically I have to take 2 cards from my hand, and when I go to use a power, like let's say instead I wanted to fight and I really needed 1 more power, I'll just take a second card to show you. I could discard these 2 together to get 1 extra power, and very similar to like playing the card, basically I'm playing the 2 to get this like extra 1 power, and that's called combining. So they kind of give you more flexibility with how you can distribute power, but it's at the expense of 2 cards. But hopefully you get like, you know, the ones that line up with what you want to do, and you can be more efficient with your cards. So that's what that is. And yeah, so I guess we'll just go back to what I want to do. So there's a few things that I could do. I could play this card and make this a 4 right now, and I could turn it to use my influence action, and I would have an influence 4, which would remove her right off the board, and then I don't have to worry about her. A different way I could do that if I wanted to is I could like tilt this card like so, and I could add a power token, and then I could just use that to go after her. So since I have this in my hand, I'm going to use this for its ability, and I'm going to tilt this like so, and I am going to remove her from the board, and she's going to go over there. And this is just going to get cleaned up at the end of the turn, but that means that this is going to slide down. These 2 are going to slide up like so. And then because this is an Explorer 7, I'm just going to tap this to a power token. Whoops. A power token to this, because if I have to start building up these power tokens so that I can get this key so that I have more flexibility. And I can use 1 action, and I can only tilt 1 action, so I can't use all my actions like by default. I can with special cards and powers, but this is my tilt action, this was my use action, so that's it. That's all that I can do. I have no more cards in my hand, so that's it. Then I would lose spirit right now if there were any threats up here that make me lose spirit, but right now all that's up here is a key. Keys don't hurt me, so I don't have to worry about that. So basically I'm going to discard this memory that I played over here, and I check my memory limit, which I don't have. I'd rotate these back so I can use them again, and that's if there had any end around abilities, I'd do those now, and then we start over again, and that's the cycle. It's pretty straightforward. So far it's pretty straightforward. I don't know if it gets weird. All right, so we're gonna flip over a threat. We know for sure it is a goblin because we saw it before. So this is a goblin. He is coward, defeated. When you defeat him, he's removed from the game. Yeah, nothing happens when you defeat the mystic. So at the very least, when he's gone, we don't have to face him again. Although that might make it worse for if we end up staying too long and the Archfiend comes in. I don't really know. But we do need a fight 4 to tackle them. So first let's see what card I get. And this is a Memory of Knowledge. Swap the positions of any 2 actions. Okay. So that's what that is. So I'm going to put this down right here. And we'll just, again, this is my hand. It's not being played. You'll know when I play it. I'll put it up here. If I don't remove this guy, he's going to deal 1 spirit action, or he's going to deal 1 spirit damage to me. So I'm just going to simply tap this influence to give my fights a +1, and I'm going to use my fights to do 4 damage to him, 3 plus the 1 power, So I'm going to remove the power token, and that's just going to simply remove him from the game. So he goes over here. He's going to go off the board. I guess I can put him up here just so you can kind of see the cards I remove from the game. That might work better. I'm not sure. Okay, so then this is going to go down. This is going to scoot up. That's it for the end of the turn. I take no damage. These are going to reset, and I have one card in my hand. So we're going to move on to the next card, and now we have a healer. So this is a threat. This is a Deja. Again, I don't really know the significance. Maybe there's cards that interact with these keywords, but currently I don't know of any. So cure, when played, gain 1 spirit. Since we've taken no damage, we are at full damage right now. We're at full spirit right now of 20. That I guess that doesn't do anything. And then basically every turn that I don't remove her, I'm going to lose a spirit, but when she gets removed, I'm going to gain a spirit back. So thematically, she's a healer. So I'm going to draw a card, and this card is the Memory of Might. Basically, it adds 1 fight. So now I have a card that helps me with fight. Don't know why it's so hard. I don't know how people do it. I feel like I'm a bad video game recorder. I can never get like things lined up nicely, because in person I feel like I have to, from my point of view, everything's lined up nicely, but then when I check the camera, everything's like crooked. So anyway, so I need a 4 influence to be able to tackle that, and I think I'm gonna just leave her out for a turn, since when she gets removed she's gonna heal anyway, and I think I'm just gonna spend this turn powering up this Explorer so that we can try to get this key out of here. And that means that at the end of the turn, she's going to do 1 damage to me. So I'm going to be down to 19. And that's all that happens. I'm going to reset this. I have 2 cards in my hand, and that's all that happens. So now we're going to start a new round and draw a new threat. And now we have an Enforcer. I don't know if the order of these matter. Like, I've been putting them left to right. I don't know if there's ever, if these are supposed to slide down. I don't think they're supposed to, but I just don't know if the order of them is ever going to matter. If it ever says like, do something next to a card. I don't know. Hopefully not. I'm just doing it that way because I don't remember there being a rule of how to put them out. All right, so this is an Enforcer. This is a threat Deja. Grapple, when played, remove 1 power token from your fight. I don't have any power tokens on my fight, so that's good. Yeah, so we're going to draw a card. This is the Memory of Redemption. So this gives us 2 to our influence if we need it, and that's what that does. So we'll drop this right here, and I think we will swap the positions of any 2 actions right now, and I think we will just simply swap the influence with the Explorer, and we will use the influence to remove the Enforcer because he only requires 3 to go away. And then I think we're going to tap the fight to add 1 more to this Explorer right here. And then these are going to scoot up. That's going to go down. And that's all I'm going to do for this turn. So I'm going to take another threat damage from the healer. She's not really healing that much right now. And then we're going to start a new turn. And we have a fighter. Threat, Anima. A bruise, played. Remove 1 power token from your influence action. So I have no power tokens on my influence action. So that's good. This is supposed to reset. So this is a fight 4. If we want to get rid of him, does 1 damage to me. So it's just gonna have to start taking care of these threats soon. Also, as far as I'm aware, yeah, I thought there was like, oh yeah, there are crystals. I'm not really sure how the crystals come into play, but we'll put them out because they're pretty. So as far as I'm aware, you don't do partial damage to anything. You either do an action and see if you beat it. So like I can't do like a 2 fight and then, you know, do 2 damage like that, as far as I'm aware. Again, if I'm playing it wrong, I'm sure someone will tell me and I'll find out. But yes, as far as I'm aware, that's not how that works. So I have to come up with 4 and 4 all in 1 shot to be able to take care of it. So yeah, I didn't actually do the fight. I was just explaining how that works. So what I think I'm going to simply do is I'm going to tap my fight to get a power token on this Explorer. And right now, since my Explorer is in the 3 position and I have 4 power tokens on it, I can use it and I can get this Key of Valor. So now this key is mine, and I guess, where's the best place to, I guess I'll put my keys down here for now. You know what, I'll do it like this. We'll move these. We'll put my keys over here. We'll make a little crystal wall. There we go. Everything to the right of the crystals is mine. So now this is a every turn, if I tap it, turn it, I can use one additional available action. Or like I said, I could flip it to just heal it. Once I flip it though, that key's out for the rest of the game. Remember, I have to get 5 keys in order to win, and I have to defeat the foe. We haven't seen the foe yet. He's further in the deck. But yeah, so now all these power tokens go away, and this is gonna scoot down, and I'll move these guys down, and that's it. I can't do anything else. I could fight now, actually, if I wanted to. Actually, you know what? Yeah, no. Okay, so I'm gonna make one change. Instead of tapping my fight, actually, it's the same thing. Yeah, I'll just, I'll use my key that I just got to do another action, and I will do my influence, and I'm gonna use my Memory of Redemption, which gives +2. So this is 2 + 2, which is 4, and that's gonna take care of this healer. And I'm gonna heal a spirit because of the healer, but at the end of the turn, I'm just gonna take a damage. I'm gonna just go right back to 18 because of the fighter. So that's it for my turn. All these cards, this is gonna go away. These are gonna actually, this is gonna swap positions with the Explorer, like so, because I just used it, and then they're all gonna reset. And now I have one fight card ready to go. So next turn, let's see what we're dealing with. Goblet, a threat, Adam Coward defeat. So we've seen him, he's just a fight 4. So we have a lot of fight stuff going on right now, which is fine. So I think what we are going to do is we are simply going to draw our card first and see what we get. Memory of Honor, this is a 1 to influence. And I think we're simply going to use our Memory of Might to make that a 4, and we're going to take care of the goblin first, because the goblin does 2 spirit damage to us, whereas the fighter only does 1. Not sure why that is, but and then he gets removed from the game. We don't heal or do anything. Actually, yeah, sorry. And then I'm just going to tap this influence to give this Explorer, and that's it. So we're going to take a damage. So we are now down to 17 spirit, and this is going to slide down, right? Should have slid down already. This is going to go away. These are going to reset. And actually, this is something that I didn't realize. I could use this every turn to draw. Use 1 additional available action. So this was used, this was tapped. I can use this for the draw memory. That's really powerful, I just realized. Actually, never mind. Keys can only be turned once. I thought they could use their turn action more than once, but no. Yeah, so it's already turned. I can't use that again. I can still flip it for the heal anytime that I needed to. So yeah, I can't do that. Okay, so I don't get an extra card. Never mind. All right, so this is gonna go back. Okay, so we're back to where we were. I took my 1 damage. I believe I took my 1 damage. Pretty sure I took my 1 damage. If I did not take my 1 damage, please let me know in the comments. Part of playing a game for the first time is sometimes you read a rule and then misinterpret it, or not 100% sure. But yeah, keys are, I guess, are one-time use. So saving that, I still think I used it appropriately, but saving it I think would be a good thing to do in the future. Anyway, next turn, see what our threat. We have another fighter. Remove 1 power token from your influence action. I don't have power tokens on this, but I know that there's 3 fighters, and I know that there's just the one that removes, and there's 3 enforcers. So I'm probably gonna not put a lot of tokens on these until I know that they're gone. This guy though has an extra power, so an extra fight needed to defeat him, so that's something to pay attention to as well. Let's see what kind of card I get. Swap the position of any 2 actions. So I think I'm simply going to do the following. I'm going to tap this to add +1 to explore. And then I'm going to use this to draw another card. And this is a 2, sorry, I don't know if I'm putting it too high. This is a 2 influence card. And I think I'm just going to soak up the 2 spirit damage for now. The reason being is because now my fight is going to creep up to a 2. And I can start doing some stuff once I see what the next guy is. So this is going to untap, this is going to untap, and we are just going to do the next one. Okay, Hobgoblin threat. Anima. Harry, when played, shuffle your discard pile into your deck. So I believe is my cards. We're going to shuffle these into our deck. Not really sure what kind of effect that has on us, but we're going to... Right, and then we are going to grab another one of these. Okay, so we have another Memory of Might. So we are simply going to use our fight, which is currently in the 2 spots, to take care of this Hobgoblin. And then he goes into the discard. And this is going to go down. I hope I've always been doing that right. The only thing that's supposed to happen is these are supposed to get pushed up. I hope I haven't actually swapped any of the ones that shouldn't have been swapped, but yeah. And then I think I'm simply just going to add a token on this Explorer, and I'm going to take the 2 damage again. And since I have the ability to, I'm just going to flip over this key to gain 1 spirit back. I don't really know if there's a reason to save it, but it puts me back up to 14. And that's it for my turn, so this is all going to reset. Another threat's going to come out. We have another Goblin. Defeat, removed from the game. He's a fight. So these are all fights. We're having a problem right now. So first things first, we're going to draw our card. And Memory of Home. This gives us a +1 to our Explore. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Memory of Knowledge, which is swap the position of any 2 actions. And I'm going to swap the fights with the influence. And then I'm simply just going to fight and have a fight 4. And I think I will just... Actually, you know what? I'm going to power up this fight first. And then I'm going to turn it. And I'll have a fight 5. I don't know why I'm trying to remove everything right now. And I'm going to get rid of this fighter. Which means I'm going to take 2 more damage. This is going to move down. This is going to slide up. And that's it for the turn. I could stack these. Like I could have also just got rid of 2 cards to do that. But I do know that there's enemies that remove the power tokens. So instead I just decided to use up the power token right away. So I don't end up having to lose them because of these guys that come out. So that's the end of the turn. We're going to reveal new threats. And now we have Pariah, Threat, Deja, Outcast, Defeat. Place in your discard pile, draw and discard this card. Alright, so this seems like they just kind of eat up some... What's the word I'm looking for? They are like a dead card in my draw, so when I go to draw, potentially... So, okay, I get it. The Hobgoblin shuffles them back in, so he'll eventually get shuffled back in, and then I might draw him, and then he's just kind of like a dead card. Okay, I got it. I was trying to figure out how he gets from my discard into here. I thought maybe he goes on top of the deck, but no, he goes into the discard. Okay. So we're going to draw a card here, a Memory of Veil, basic memory. We're going to get 2 Explore from this card if we need it. So first things first then, I'm going to influence 2 the Pariah, because the Pariah does 2 spirit damage to me, and we don't want that. And that's going to swap this up. And then I think we're just going to put a power token. This should have gone away, sorry. And this should have been up like this. We're going to put a power token on this and hope that an enemy that comes out doesn't take it away. But since I still have a fighter and a goblin out, I'm going to take 2 more spirit damage, which puts me down to 10. And that's it. These are going to untap. And I need a key to come out. That's what I need. And look at that. It's like I predicted it. I knew it was coming out soon. I just didn't know when. Alright, Key of Sight. Turn, use 1 available action, and then I can flip this over to add a power token to an Explore action. So this only requires 6. So yeah, I think we're gonna end up using it right away. But first, let's see what card we get. Memory of Heart. I can use one available action. Okay, and maybe I don't need to use that right away. All right. So first things first, I'm going to play this Memory of Home, and I'm going to play it with the Explore action, and that is going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Oh wait, actually I don't need to do this. It's a 6, and I already have 3 plus 3 power, so I'll just actually, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave one of the power tokens on. Actually, so if we're going to do that, let's do it like this. I'm going to use this 2. So 3 plus 2, you know what? Why not just use both of these? Let's do that. And hope there's not something in here that removes all the Explore actions. I haven't seen anything that does it, but maybe there are cards, and maybe I'll regret doing it like this. But I do have a hand size limit of 3 or 6, so I might as well use these. So I'm going to do 3 Explore plus 3 and tap it and slide these up. And that's going to give me this key. And then I'm going to use my use one available additional action this turn with my Fight. I guess this would just get discarded. And I will use my Fight, which is got a power token on it for 4. And I'll get rid of this guy. He's removed from the game. I don't know if there's any effects that would shuffle him back in, but it does mean I still have the fighter out. I can't do anything about that right now. So this is going to go down, and I think I'm simply going to tap this to add a power token to the fight and hope nothing removes that. And then so I'm taking one spirit damage, and I will untap all of this, and we will move on to the next threat. So it's this guy again. He's influence 3. He also goes in my discard pile. Okay, so let's draw another memory of creation. This one just heals me for 1, so I guess I can use it whenever I want to heal, or I could use it for the combine action if I hold on to it. Probably just going to use it for the heal since I'm down to 9 spirit, but since this guy just came out and it's an influence, I'll just simply, oh, this spins pretty well actually, look at that. Oh, doesn't mess with this though. So this is an influence 3. He requires 3 to get removed, so we're just going to remove him now. And both of these guys go into my discard. I don't know why it says it right on there, but I forgot to do it. So they're in my discard. So when a Hobgoblin comes out, they're going to get mixed in. This is going to get pushed down. And I'm going to tap this to put a token. And I think we're just going to use my key to do an extra action. And I'm going to do an extra fight action. Just going to slide this down, and we're going to get rid of this fighter that's kind of been lingering. So for the first time in a while, I'm not taking any spirit damage at the end of the turn. I'm going to keep on holding on to these 3 cards. Again, I don't know if there's any effects that will make me discard anything, so I'm not in any pressure to use this right now, so I'm not going to. And I'm going to untap everything, and then reveal the next threat. Alright, we got a Hobgoblin again, so they shuffle the discard into my deck, so when they get removed, they are a fight 3. So we are simply going to do the following. First, we're going to draw a card, draw a memory. Can't forget to do that. Memory Redemption. This is a influence 2. We will tap this to draw another memory, another healing one, so another creation. So I'm going to put this on top of that, and this is going to slide down. It's kind of awkward once you have the power tokens, but not much you can do about that. Do the power tokens go on the card? Have I been doing this wrong? So, can't rewind the game and fix this, but I've realized I've been misplaying something wrong. So you tilt something and you put the power token onto it. You don't put it on other things. I don't know if that would change anything. I feel like most of the time I was always tilting something that would have been used. I think maybe once or twice I might have gotten tokens onto this by tilting one of these. I'm not 100% sure. But you only put the power tokens on themselves. So that's something that's important to note. I can't do something like this and put a power token on that. So if I did it already, you know, I can't rewind time, I can't undo it. So we'll just have to press forward and hope that I don't make that mistake anymore and that it didn't have any huge balance implications. So based on that, I'm going to put a token. Why is this Explorer tilted? That's from last round, right? I didn't undo it. Yeah, so that does matter a lot. So if I want to get a power token on this turn, I would have to do that. Or if I want to get the fight up, I'd have to use this to draw a card. And this lets me use one available action, one additional action. And then I'm going to use this right away to do fight. And since it's in the 3 spot, it's going to kill this hobgoblin, which is going to shuffle this into my deck. But let me slide these down first. And then we tilt, and we're going to put a token on what we tilt. So when you tilt, it's not add a power token to anything, it's add a power token to the card you're tilting. Okay, so that's something that I misread or misinterpreted, and I don't know how many times I did it wrong, but I will remember to comment in the top comment that I did that, and hopefully moving forward I don't do it anymore. So this is going to get shuffled back in. So now we have 2 cards in here that are bad for us. We're going to do one of these kind of shuffles to make sure it gets really shuffled, since we know that the 2 soldiers I kind of put in the discard right on top of one another. We don't want to have 2 draws back to back that are dead draws. Okay, so that's it. I take no damage at the end of this turn, but we're going to move on to the next card. All right, so we have another hobgoblin. This is a fight 4 card. So I think we're simply going to draw. Actually, no. We're going to get our free card first. This is basically the dead card came out first when we did that. Placing your discard pile, draw and discard this card. So I'm assuming it stays in our discard, like in our deck. It doesn't go back to the villain. So yes, I am going to use this to draw another memory. Ignore spirit cost -1 threat this round. That's kind of like a shield. And this is going to go down. And then we're just going to simply add a token to the fight. And we will use this to block the 1 damage that I'm going to take from the hobgoblin. And that's going to be it for the turn. Alright, so a new threat comes out. A key, alright. Turn, use 1 additional action. Add 1 power token to a fight action. Okay. Seems like there's probably one for all 3 of these. There's probably one for healing. I don't know what the 5th one is. So, my explorer's down here, so we're going to leave the key out for now. I'm going to get my free card, and this is a Memory of Blood, a fight 2. So, do I want to use that now? I don't think so. I think we are just going to use this card to heal 1. And we're going to tap this to draw another memory. Ignore spirit cost of 1 threat this round, so that works out pretty well. We're going to use that. Ignore the hobgoblin again. This is going to go up. We're going to tap the fight to get +1 on it. And that's it for the round. A new threat's going to come out. We have a healer, so it's a 4 influence card. Cure, when played, I gain a spirit. So I'm up to 11. And then it's going to deal 1 damage to me every turn that it's out. And then when it's defeated, I get +1. I believe that's how that works. Okay. So what do we do? Alright, well, first thing is obvious. We're going to fight. And we're going to use 1 power token to defeat the hobgoblin. When played, shuffle your discard pile back into your deck. So, oh wait, this is when played. Okay, not when defeated. So, are they all when played? Yeah, they're all are when played, not defeated. Okay, so I also messed up there. I should have shuffled a turn or 2 sooner on the last hobgoblin. That's my fault. Human mistakes are human. Again, I apologize. Reading is hard. Okay. And I don't think I drew my free card, actually. So let's do that as well. This is just a 1 explore. So we'll put that right here. So I'm at my max. Yep, so we're going to do the fight to get rid of him. We'll slide this down. And then we will use our key. Sorry, no, we already used our key. Yeah, we don't have the ability to do what I want to do. So we will just add a token to this influence and hope that the next guy doesn't remove it. And we will heal ourselves for 1. Actually, I don't have to discard this down until the end, until I have more than 6 at the end of the round. So I can hold on to this for 1 more round. So we'll do that. We'll untap these guys. We're going to take our 1 damage from the healer, and a new threat comes out. And of course, remove 1 power token from your fight action. So that's why I did not want that to happen, but not much I can do about it. All right, so we will simply do the following. Actually, I get another card. This is another 2 explore. Okay, so we are going to do our explore action to get that key, and we're just going to use this 2 explore card that we just drew to not have to use power tokens to get this key. And we're going to slide this down like so. And then we are going to use our key immediately to do another action. And we're going to use this influence to do, yeah, we'll use the, we're going to leave the power token. We're going to gamble. We're going to use this because I have a bunch of these in my hand. We'll use this influence card to boost it like so. You get rid of the healer, and that's going to give me a spirit back. And then that's going to slide down. And then we're just going to add a token to the fights. That's... Alright, so this is bothering me. I'm going to do this real quick. So from my end, this is straight. So I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner, but we're just going to do this. Hope we can fix this here. Like this. That worked? No, that ruined everything. Well, it kind of made things a little bit nicer, but alright, we just have to move this up a little bit. Hopefully that works a little bit better, and then this can be here. All right, so these are my keys. We're at 3 keys so far. I take my 1 damage. I'm gonna take my damage now from the Enforcer. This is all gonna reset. Hopefully that's a little bit nicer. I don't know why it took me like 45 minutes to realize I could just adjust my camera, but yeah, I'm silly, I guess. All right, so new threat comes out. Another Enforcer, so they're gonna remove the fight token from my fight, which is unfortunate, but I am going to draw another card. This is another dead draw, so we're simply going to, what are we going to do here? I think I'm going to use my key that gives me an additional fight. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to, oh wait, I don't need to do that yet, because this guy's only a 3 fight, so we are going to use our fights, slide these down for 3 to remove the Enforcer that just came out, and we are going to tap the influence to gain an influence, and we're going to take 1 spirit. We are down to 9, and that's my turn. Another threat comes out. Of course, remove a power from your influence. I said this was going to happen. I was trying to avoid it, but I guess you just can't avoid it. So that's another 4 fights. Let's draw a card. Hopefully we can use a second action. Yeah, perfect. It's like I called it, memory part. Use 1 additional available action. So we are going to use our Explorer to draw another card. And again, if my rules are understanding, we only discard down at the end to 6. So I can have more than 6 during my turn. So we got the swap 2 positions of 2 actions card, which is pretty good. We'll put that there. We are going to use this, use a second action card immediately, and we're going to basically fight using this 2 power to get rid of one of these fighters. It doesn't matter which one, I don't think, so we'll get rid of that one, and then we are just going to tap this influence to get +1 on the influence, and that's going to be, this is going to swap, push that up, this is going to go away, and a new threat comes out. Alright, Hobgoblin again. When played, shuffle your discard pile. I feel like there's more of these in there than there should be, but no, 4. I think that's the 4th one. Draw. Use 1 additional action available. Or hold on to that, I think. Alright. Did I use this extra fight? I did before, right? I feel like I did. No, I said I didn't need to. That's right. I was going to, and then it ended up being a 3. So I'm probably going to end up using it this turn. So how am I going to end up using it? Simply, first, we are going to use this influence to draw a card. Another swap the position of 2. This is going to slide down. Then we're going to use one additional action with this. And we're just going to use this fight. Get rid of this hobgoblin. Because he's a fight 2. So Enforcer's going to stay on the board forever, it seems like. And then I'm going to get an extra Explorer on this card. Go down to 8 from the Enforcer. This is going to reset. This is going to reset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So I don't have to get rid of anything yet. And another threat comes out. Alright, this is the Mystic. When she comes out, reveal threats until you reveal a key. Put it into play. Shuffle and replace the rest back on the threat deck. So the Goblin King's coming out soon. And then a key. So Goblin King's coming out next. So we'll talk about the Goblin King in a second. Alright. So we have a Key of Light, which is Explore 8. Use an additional action. And you can flip to draw an extra memory. So that's what that does. Okay. But we're going to draw, this is another heal, so we'll do that. And then I think we're simply going to do the following. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think we're going to use all these power card charges to explore. We're going to get this key. So that's our 4th key. I don't have any additional actions other than this key, so I guess we're going to do that right now. And we're going to take care of her. So once again, this Enforcer is going to stay on the board. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. So we're going to get rid of one of our heals. And that's going to cancel out the damage. I'll go up to 9, but then the Enforcer is going to damage me for 1. Puts me down to 8. This is all going to reset. And now a new card's going to come out. And we know this is the Goblin King. So this is the foe. So there's only one foe for this vignette, and that's him. You'll notice that let's zoom in on him a little bit to talk about him. So we'll see that the Goblin King has 2 things you have to damage, and because they have asterisks, you have to defeat both of them. You don't have to defeat both of them in one turn, but you do have to defeat one and then the other. You can kind of track it with the crystals. On defeat, I gain 2 power tokens. I assume I can put that on anything that I want. Every turn that he's out, I lose 2 health, and when he goes, I'm gonna get 1 health back. So that's what that is. So, since we have our fight here, well, first we are going to draw our free card and hope that it's a give us fight thing. It's not, it's an Explorer. So right now we're at 3 fights, which is unfortunate for us. So I can give myself an additional fight here, and then I can get rid of a lot of stuff. I can get rid of these 2 and these 2 to do their combine actions. So I basically have 1, it's not really a power token, I just am giving myself, I guess it is 1 power token. So yeah, getting 1 power token from that, getting 5 from this, then I'm getting 6 from this, which is going to do 6 damage to the Goblin King. And then we're going to use it, and this is all going to swap down. So that goes onto the fight spot. And then since I do not have any ways to play additional actions, I'm going to use this to draw an additional memory. Nor spirit cost of -1 threat this round, so at least I can avoid 1 damage this turn. We're going to use that on this guy, and that's it. Oh, actually, that's not it. I'm going to do +1 onto the influence. Actually, I'm going to do +1 onto the Explorer, because I have what I need for this influence right now. So we're going to tap this, and that's going to be it for the turn. So this is all going to go here, and I'm going to take 2 damage from the Goblin King, and have I made a mess of this? It's like going off the edge. There we go. Reveal new threats. We have a healer, so that's kind of good. Get cured 1 when they come in, although it is a 5, so I have to pay attention to that. I'm going to get a card, and it's a fight. I could have used that last turn, but that's fine. And we are simply going to do our influence where it's at. It has 2 power tokens on it, +2, and we have this Memory of Redemption, which gives another +2. And we're going to simply hit the Goblin King and get rid of get rid of that. Goblin King goes away. We're going to heal 1. So we're back up to 8. So the Goblin King, he's a foe. So he's special. Again, he does not go into the discard. He kind of gets removed from the game. So we're going to kind of put him up here as a trophy with our keys. And we'll put the crystals on him to remind him that he's gone. So we need 1 more key, and then we can get this portal, and then we can get out of here. And we have 8 spirit left to do it. Unfortunately, I still have no extra ways right now to do extra actions. So I can simply either prepare for the Explorer. So we know that to win, so I didn't talk about this. In order to beat the gate on this card, the setup card right here, again, we'll zoom up so you can see it. The gates, in order to beat the gate in this particular vignette, is going to be an Explore 3. So every vignette's going to have its own stuff. Also, I totally forgot about this rule. So you know what? This will counteract my cheating before. Every time I defeated a key, I was supposed to actually give myself +1 health. So I technically should be up 4 health right now. Maybe 3 health, because I think I got a key before I even lost any health. So that will kind of counter out the +1 power tokens I accidentally gave myself earlier. Sorry about that. So the point of me talking about all that was that we know we don't really need power tokens necessarily to escape. We just need to get the Explorer into the 3 spot, and we have these 2 swap the positions of any actions. But we do know potentially there's 1 more key, and you know that might have an Explorer 5 on it. So we're going to try to prepare for a key coming out. I already used my other actions, so I can't tackle either one of these guys. So, and these go away. We used it for that. This goes away, and yeah, so this is where we're at. We're going to take 2 damage. Again, we technically should be at like 10 spirit right now, so we're going to hope that I don't lose. I feel like we're doing okay, but I might lose because now there's so many threats that are out. And then this guy's coming out, so that's kind of annoying because we still don't have a second action, and we have to tackle him first because he's going to deal 2 damage to us. So let's see what card we get. Hopefully it's another take an extra action. It's not. It's a Explore Memory Bank, Memory of Home. So yeah, we have to use our influence that's in the 1 spot to remove him so that we don't take 2 damage from him. And again, I can't really do much, so I'm going to add a power token to fight so that at the very least next turn I can take care of him if I need to. And if we get rid of her, at least we'll heal 1, but there's nothing else I could really do about it right now. So we're going to take 2. We're down to 4. So we might lose this. We're going to see. Hopefully this is the key. It's not. Well, now the key is going to come out. So we're going to reveal until we get a key. Here's the other key. And we go back on top. I would have to shuffle as more than 1, but alright, so that, add 1 power token to a influence to get that. This is only an Explore 4. So interestingly enough, well, let's give ourselves our free nothing. Okay. So interestingly enough, I think I'm guaranteed to win. Let's see, is it collect all 5 keys, defeated all the vignette foes, I don't know why I say vignette, and defeat the portal. So I have 4 health. If I just this turn explore, I can get this key. And then I can both use it to do another action and flip it to give a power token to this. And then I can combine these 2 cards. Actually, I have to do it in that order though, right? Actually, yeah. Can't do it like that, unfortunately. I'd have to turn it first to get the free action, which doesn't get me where I need to be. Although, actually no, so this still helps. I mean, it doesn't change that much. So use for an additional action. We'll just use the fight instead. We'll use 1 power token from that, and we'll just get rid of this guy. This way I'm taking a little bit less damage. I was trying to get that heal, is what I was aiming for. And then we'll tap this to get a power token. We'll only lose 2, so unless the next, actually, and I don't even need to use these as a combine, so I still have these. So unless the next card does damage to me somehow when it comes out, I'm gonna win, I believe. Because right now I have all 5 keys, and the portal comes out. Placed in the threat area after all 5 keys and all foes are defeated. We killed the Goblin King, we have all 5 keys. Defeat the portal, use the Vignette's explore value, defeat, you escape. So let's see what we get. Reveal threats to reveal a key, put into play. So I don't know what you do for this one. If there's no key, I guess you can't do that. Reveal threats until you reveal a key. Put it into play. Shuffle and replace the rest back on top of the deck. So I'm assuming you just can't do that. But it doesn't matter because this all resets. I'm going to get a card. That doesn't matter. I'm going to use my Memory of Knowledge to swap the positions of any 2 actions. In fact, I don't even need to swap the 2 actions because I have a power token on the Explorer. But I could have swapped it to give it a 3 anyway to defeat the portal because it's Explore value of 3. So we escape through the portal, and there's some flavor text. In life, the ruined goblin was king beyond death, wielding sickness and sin. So I'm assuming we read that when we beat it. Not sure if I was supposed to read that at the beginning, but here we are. And yeah, there's kind of like a smoke effect. It looks weird on the camera, but all right. So we won. Again, I did cheat a little bit, but then I kind of counterbalanced it by not giving myself the health I should have gotten. So I cheated in my favor, and then I cheated against my favor. So again, kind of an asterisk on this, but I believe I played mostly correct once I realized that's how that worked. The only other thing I might have done is I might have made mistakes that I didn't realize, but it's fine. So that's Veilwraith. Veilwraith. But what happens now is we get to upgrade our memories. And let's see. I believe I have to take an upgrade 1. Alright, so the way that I understand how the upgrades work is basically I have to replace 1 card from my deck, and I get to choose in most cases. So any of these cards that were in my deck, actually, hold on, these guys gotta get removed that we added. Is all of them? I believe so. All right, so so all of these have a value of 2. I believe they go up to 4. I just grabbed the 2s from the box, and I can get something from the box that has at least 1 higher than a card that I'm trading in, right? So I could get rid of this for this if I wanted to. Some of them, so this is like just draw 2 memories, which is, you know, pretty good. Accelerating your draw is probably pretty strong. This is any Veilwraith gains 1 spirit, or each other Veilwraith discards 1 power token. These are a little bit weird because you can play this game also as the competitive mode, which again, you need your own, everyone needs their own box to be able to do it. I don't ever see myself playing that way. So this extra text is always going to distract me. I almost want to like take a pen and cross it off. Obviously I won't do that. Same thing, but you gain spirit, and these all have like stronger fights and costs. Same thing, but with Explorer. Add a power token to a fight action and heal 2. So this kind of upgrades that heal card, or I can take it. This one says box Memory of Heart. So if I want to take this one, I have to get rid of this card. I have to get rid of the Memory of Heart using 1 additional action. This kind of upgrades that, so I don't have a choice of what to remove. This just has to be in the box to take this, but in practice, it's going to mean this has to go back if I want to take this upgrade. But this gives me an additional action and a power token, which is pretty good. Return a threat in play to the top of the threat deck. That kind of seems pretty good. I don't know, probably not always that good because a lot of these things have played stuff. So like, I don't know, this would be really strong with this card, right? Reveal threats until you reveal a key. This comes out, return it to the top of the deck, comes in again, put it to the top of the deck. I don't know, it seems pretty strong. I'm gonna put that on the side of the maybes. Ignore spirit cost of 2 threat this round. Turn a threat in play to the bottom of the deck, then remove this card from the game. Also seems pretty good. So it seems like I would probably want this. This also gets used for this. I'm assuming you could do both of those too, right? Like I'm assuming I could play it like this, return a threat, and also get the one bonus. Not 100% sure if you can do that, but similar thing, but gets put to the bottom. Or drawing 2 memories is pretty strong as well. So these would be my main contenders I would probably choose to start off with. And I think I'm probably just going to choose this Memory of Sorrow to start with. So what do I want to get rid of? Probably get rid of a Memory of Home. I might regret this, but this one Explore, I don't know if there's going to be more cards that require Explore, so I might regret this later. I feel like this is probably the least impactful card there is. Because the Explorer, you tend to give yourself free power tokens because you're always using the fight and the influence, so you can't always do that. Maybe I would get rid of this Ignore Spirit cost, the 1 threat this round, although that kind of came in pretty handy this last play. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to add this, and this is my new deck of 20 cards. Whoops, no, none of these. These are all the upgrades. I should have 20 cards, and one of them should be a 2. Whoops, what did I do here? 1, 2, 4. I'm missing a card. What am I missing? Well, I'm missing a power card somewhere. I don't know where I put it. But I will fix that before the end of the game. You guys don't need to watch me deal with that. Anyway, this has been Veilwraith, and hopefully you found this enjoyable, or it helped teach you how to play the game. I'll probably play a couple more of the vignettes in the campaign. We'll see how far we go. This one a little bit longer than it should have, but hopefully future plays will go a lot faster. Alright, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.